Yeah, Leon, did I take it?
Just this.
Yeah, it works. Thank you so much.
Do you want me to start now, or?
Yeah, it's already on.
It's
You just
already-
have to zoom, but be careful because the zoom is very
It's
sensitive.
very sensitive. Okay.
Donc en fait, tu fais pas de. En fait, tu regardes juste en large et tu pas fixé.
I understand. Like,
Okay.
Yeah. So.
If you just like large like this, you know, to see everybody. So
Yeah.
zoom out and action.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
And that was Small Gauge Trauma 2012. Yeah. Now, one thing I should have mentioned earlier, if you looked at our program guide, there was a short film by the name of Crown, which is absolutely amazing and was not shown today. The reason for that is the filmmaker about 5 days ago emailed me in a panic saying, oh my God, we're not going to be able to show Crown. It's fallen into an ownership dispute. I'm not used to this happening in the short film world. It's fallen into an ownership dispute, and if you were to send us an HD screening master, you would probably be sued. So at the 11th hour, we had to drop it. Anyways, Crown is amazing. Hopefully one day it'll show up on Vimeo or some random internet place. And if it does, we'll link to it on our site and through our Facebook and all that. But in case, I mean, maybe you didn't even know that Crown's supposed to play, but anyway, I should have told you, so there. If you didn't know you missed something, sorry, but I hope you like the show just the same. And now, we'll bring up the pack of filmmakers who are in town, so please give it up for Jorge Michel Grau, Sam Walker, we also have Jason Nato, Xavier Bon, and Richard Powell, as well as all the familiar people who are back there and should be up here. So come on up, guys. People are still making their way up. So we'll start way at the back, then maybe with Xavier, so we can go in an order. Xavier, do you want to talk about, maybe each of you, talk a bit about like just the genesis of your shorts? How they came together. You kind of did already a little bit, but there's something you want to add to it.
En fait, j'ai eu l'idée. I'm going to try to do it in English. I got the idea of the movie because last Fantasia, when I was here, was like 2 years ago, and I saw a lot of boobs and young people coming just from Vogue cover or something like that. So I think the madness could be everywhere. And when you had an exciting life, like my grandfather had, and you're just waiting for that in a retiring home. What can be your last thrill? So that's all that idea came to my mind. So I think madness can be everywhere, especially when you have nothing to lose. So and you get bored, so whatever. So.
Okay. Can you pass the mic? Oh, you have a mic, Jorge.
Yes.
We'll talk maybe about the crime even that it was based on.
Yeah, this short film is based in a true event in north of Mexico. A narco gang kidnapped 72 people and killed everyone without reason. And we try to do a exercise or a cinematographic exercise about the death or the liberation through the death. No, these people lives a hell, a really hell, and the only way to out this hell is the death. So that's why we decide to film or to shoot this the death with this kind of poetry or the image in the water. And and
Because death is a release, death is a happy ending.
yeah, the death is the only happy ending. So this is the show.
How is it perceived in Mexico?
The people in Mexico, ¿cómo se dice? Ya no quieren. They don't want to see more movie about narc, and this understand. But this is not a movie about narc. It's a movie about people or victims. So we just screening in a little festival in Mexico, and I think the people like it, and that's it.
Okay. Just pass the same.
Yeah, I don't really know how to follow that. It's such an intense film. That one, I really liked it. It's like I don't know, a bit weird talking about someone else's film when I speak about mine, but I loved it. Like I really loved how it. If you hadn't said it was about narcs, like it would have affected me anyway. Like it's just like a really human kind of like. I felt very lost because the dialogue and stuff. I felt really lost in it. And I thought it was great. My film. Yeah, I don't really know. I haven't made a film in a little while, and then I wanted to do something because I've been stuck in like not making features and stuff, trying to get films made. And I heard a piece of music my brother made, and I did a weird scratchy drawing of these girls with animal masks and their breasts out, and a man in a wheelchair. And I showed it to my business partner, and he was like, "What's that?" And I was like, "I want to make that into something." And so we started working on the idea, and as we were working on it, I guess I don't know. Like I think they're all very different films I've seen here tonight, but like that one's it's one of those. It's like that thing of when you're making a film, like you start to suck in the world around you starts to get into the film. In the film, you start seeing reflections of things from your life in the film, and there's quite a lot of weird, strange things that were in that film that were in my life, and I don't know. Yeah, it just kind of. The thing that got pulled out, I got given it at the end of the film, and I was like, "What the fuck am I going to do with this?" So I had it in a Tesco. You don't have Tesco's over here, do you? But it's like a supermarket plastic bag, and I had it, and I was like, "What am I going to do with this bad thing?" And I pulled out. So I took it in the park and I burnt it on a barbecue. So that film feels a little bit like homemade hoodoo voodoo. I guess it's kind of like there's all sorts of weird things. Anyway, cheers, I'll push on.
Yeah, like I was saying, I guess my big film was the Pig movie, and I guess that's what it's getting known as now. And yeah, it was just a ongoing fascination with consumption and how we perceive food. And yeah.
How did you set it up production-wise?
Production-wise, we actually, a friend of ours, this is Dan Sharnoff, he was a cinematographer.
Beautiful work.
We shot it in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, in New York, and it was on just one set one stage that I built. I spent 2 weeks building. So the prosthetic, the pig, was built by a special effects artist named Tate Steinzik, who's gotten a lot of work lately, and Brendan Belomo did the composite work. He did Beast of the Southern Wild. So yeah, it was a small team, and it took a number of years to finish, and yeah, came out a little bizarre, and that's what we like. So.
Thanks. Let's pass it.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can bring in all these guys if you want to corroborate any tales.
Yeah, obviously our film is about a lot of things, but at the core of it, it's just kind of about the idea of family and regret and unfulfilled dreams, yearning, and obviously there's a certain. It's being described as a body horror type film now, and that's cool. Yeah, I mean the film is like I was saying, there was a lot of hard work, and everybody here really stepped up and helped make something that I think we can all be proud of, and yeah, I'm just again glad that we were able to show it here at Fantasia.
Okay. Let's open up to questions from the audience. Thank you. You, yes.
I kind of switch back and forth sometimes, but it's really, I guess there are elements of that in there, but it really wasn't the focal point. It's always seems the same.
Next question. Yeah.
He has the makeup effects budget for the pig stuff. The pig itself, I think, ran me to build. All in on the pig stuff, I'd say 1,000. Yeah.
Well, what happens is we're friends with a lot of filmmakers and special effects artists, and it's interesting because I've known Jason socially for a very long time, and it's kind of when you work on a lot of commercial projects and things, and you do, this is sort of a labor of love for a lot of different people that came up. If the credits list was not long, and everyone kind of wore a lot of different hats, so you can't really calculate the man hours that went into it. There's a lot of love in that film, and it was fun to watch one of my best friends get into work out some abstract ideas that only film can really do when you're
Nobody else will pay for that section of it. It's not to you, mate.
Next question. Yeah.
What made you decide to do more or less like a music video as opposed to like a traditional narrative? Like, is that something that you do often?
Mitch asked me that question when I said the film is like, it's kind of like a weird music video. But all my films are a little bit like that. They're all kind of like retarded music videos in a way. And I don't know, you find this shit in your head and you want to get it out, and films happen in different ways, don't they? Like, someone tells you something funny and you think, oh, I'd like to see that, and then, or whatever. And then this one, I don't know, my brother's music, it's quite a weird one. My brother wrote that song, and I heard it and I liked it, and I felt like I related to that piece of music. And yeah, I don't know, I mean, it is kind of like a retarded music video, but then you should see my other stuff is as well, you should check the band out. They're called Mississippi Witch, and they're really, really heavy business. We're sort of talking about doing like a part 2 to it, because it feels like it's a film about catharsis, and like it's got weird seeing somebody else getting pulled out of someone else's body. I was like, hang on, well, that's slippy, but I don't know, like it feels like it's a film about like it is a kind of music video, I suppose, yeah, definitely, but there's kind of depth in there. For me, it's like just a personal thing. Like I kind of know what I wanted to make it, and that's just why I did it. It's like, I don't know if it'll ever get played as a music video though.
Next question. Is there no one else? Please, yeah.
I just the Mexico film, all the bubbles. I love the ending. It's beautiful, and I don't do that. So how'd you do all the bodies and the bubbles and that kind of thing? I don't know how that whole thing was done. It's very beautifully done. So if you could describe somehow your techniques. I'm sure you had an underwater camera or something.
We do in a swimming pool through a window with a very slow camera, and we make, I think, around 100 ¿cómo se dice enclavados? Diving, and we shoot with the old actors, the eyes and all the swimming pool. We put black, ¿cómo se dice? Telas alrededor, fabric in all the swimming pool, and only use one light in zenithal, and that's it.
That looks great. What was the frame rate for that?
La velocidad? 2,000. Wow. 2,000 frames.
By the way, you're here. We haven't actually talked to you yet. Star familiar. That's right. And the first step. Cheers. Do you want to maybe talk to the audience a little bit about what motivations you were given as an actor for this, how you prepared yourself and psyched for the role?
Sure. Now give an actor a microphone. We're going to go up and dance or something. I'm not going to answer. Do it. Okay. Cool.
Now dance.
My motivation was get your ass up there and just do it. I wrote the script, so. No, I didn't. That's my director talking. That's a hard question to answer. I think everything comes from the script, which I think is beautifully and truthfully written. I think it's a wonderful script, and my job is to express the role that I have in that script and through the fine direction of our director, Richard Powell. So I think you see us as actors up there, but you don't see that subtle hand of the director. But that's what's shaping the performance. And I rely, my own style anyway, is to rely, which could be a weakness sometimes, but I think it is to rely on my director for that shaping of the performance for the whole film. So both in the audio and in the acting, that's Richard, who's the writer and the director. So I gotta get rid of this microphone.
Thanks. All right, we've got time for one last question. Yeah, right there.
For a film in Mexico, where was it filmed?
Very near of Mexico City, because it's very dangerous to shoot in the north of Mexico, and the narc gangs control the state, the government of these states, and that's why we don't have the permission to shoot. So we go to a ranch near of Mexico, and we build the house and the road to the bus.
I mean, I said we were going to end on that, but Xavier, I have to ask you this.